So welcome to another video, and this video is all about giving forth my raw reviews about this car, which is of course called Alcazar by Hyundai, and a very similar looking car that Hyundai basically sells in the US is called Palisade, Palisade, right? So the design philosophy of this car is very similar to that one, especially the side profile. So you can watch the video that I've particularly made on what I feel about the design of the car, and at the same time I'm going to give you my reviews. That's why this video is created. So the fact is that I am not very excited about the whole design of the car. The video is of course running right in front of you of how they unveiled the car with of course a camouflage that you can see, but as I said, I'm not very excited about the car, primarily because of the fact that it seems to be a stretched out Creta. So the front grille, the front lighting cluster, the tri-beam, etc. are almost as good as the one that we see on Creta, and this probably is also because of the fact that this design basically hails from the latter part of 2019, that's pre-corona days. So if one thinks about it, it was launched in 2020 first quarter. They started to make sales, if I'm not wrong, in the month of April or May, but that was being planned at around the fourth quarter of 2019, which basically implies that it is an old design, but nonetheless it is a beautiful design. I do not wish to degrade or demean the design at all, and that's not my purpose here. In any case, I think all those people who are enamored and enchanted by the design of this car will eventually end up buying this car if they have the need for 6 or 7 seater, because if somebody is in love with the design of Creta, I'm sure they're going to love this car anyway. So the second thing that probably leaves me not too much excited is because of the fact that the engine that is going to come in this car is going to be pretty much the same one that we see in Creta. So the power that will be generated will be probably more or less the same that is generated in Creta. And as I said, there's basically no innovation as far as design goes. This, as I said earlier, is a design from late 2019, right? So as I said earlier, I'm obviously not pushing the brand down. I'm not pushing the design of the car down. If somebody's in love with the design of Creta, I'm sure they're going to go ahead and they'll buy it anyway, regardless of this video. Of course, this is my personal view. I love the design of the car Creta, but I think it is sort of an old design now. Probably they should have induced certain changes. I don't know. I mean, what I think is they should have kind of created a more attractive looking car if it was put side by side, if Creta was put right beside it. So whereas I see it as a clone of Creta, right? Because that's how it is. So yes, one exciting part that I actually got information about, and I'll be honest about it because I have this habit of garnering information about all the automotive things that are hidden behind the curtain before they are actually launched, is that it may end up having a heads-up display. Now let me explain what exactly is heads-up display for all those people who you have no idea whatsoever what exactly is heads-up display. It's basically, you can say, a micro cinema-like experience that is basically thrown at the windscreen from, of course, inside, so that you can see the speedometer, etc., on the windscreen itself, which again, as I said, on the inner side of the windscreen, so that you don't really have to push your eyes down and look at the speedometer. This basically is like a micro cinema sort of an experience. So if it comes out to be true, which obviously, as I said, some sources of mine within the automotive industry have told me, it could be like the first in the segment, because I basically have a car which is a luxury car, and these kind of features come in cars which are in excess of 30, 40, 50 lakh rupees. So therefore I think it's a great feature if it turns out to be true, the information that I've been given. The second thing that one can be, upbeat about is that the third row of passengers will have substantive amount of space for people sitting in the third row. So it's not going to be a crunch out there for people who wish to be seated in the third row. Which basically reminds me that this car is going to come in either 6-seater version or a 7-seater one. So 6-seater version, as we all know, was something which is probably launched by Innova back in the days, probably 5-7 years back. It was the innovation by Innova. That's funny because both the words are almost similar. So Innova came up with the idea of having captain seats, which basically means that that very similar to the seats that are there for the captain inside an aircraft. Simple. So that is a comfortable experience for all those people who don't really need that 7 seat. So go for the option of 6 seats in case you don't need that extra seat, of course. And that's about it, I guess. And I think if I've missed anything, I think have missed out on one fact, which is of course the pricing of the car. And again, the base model may be slightly lesser than the base model of which one? Tata Safari. So just wait and hold on to your horses for another day. I don't know whether the pricing would come out tomorrow itself, but yes, one more thing that I wanted to unveil and unravel in this video, and that's the last thing, of course. The deliveries of Hyundai Alcazar would start happening in the month of May, either in the first week or in the second week, so you got to wait a little. And as I said earlier, I'm sure it's going to be worth the wait. If you're in love with the design of Creta, I think you should probably go for this car. But because I am somebody who is more focused on giving their resources to a more Indian company, even though Hyundai is a great company as well, I would probably think about going with the Tata car, because Tata Harrier, even though it's probably a segment below this one, then you can go for Safari. Tata Safari also basically competes with this car, so you can either go for Harrier or Safari depending on the budget. But of course, this is a car which competes with Safari, so I would probably have gone for Safari, mainly because of my love for Tata, the company, of course. So thank you so much for watching the video. God bless you, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.